Hey YouTube, welcome back to VHS. I'm your host Jesse, and today we got a little work to do. Martin Scorsese. He's made a lot of movies, guys. He's been making them since the late 1960s, and he's still making them today, with his release this year of Killers of the Flower Moon. But with so many movies, Scorsese has presented us with a serious problem. How do we know which of these films we must see? Which of these films we kind of get or we kind of saw and we kind of forgot and it's all okay as long as we can talk about it at a party. And which movies we really should avoid like the plague. So that's how we're going to break things down. We don't do that SAB nonsense. We all know how to spell. Right here at VHS, we're going to break it down the most efficient and effective way possible. Top category. You got to see these movies. If you think you talk about movies and you think people want to hear what you have to say, and you're going to be at a party and someone's going to be like, Scorsese movies, and this better than that, and you're going to walk over there and be like, oh man, I'm going to talk my stuff about these movies, but you haven't seen the movies in the must-see category, you're going in without any weapons, brother. So let's get these knocked off. The second category, we get it, is just that. We get it. We saw it, or we didn't see it. We heard someone talk about it. We've heard it enough times. We kind of get it. We know what it's about. We'll get to it eventually, but probably not. But that's okay. Because we know about it, we can talk about it, we can understand other movies by virtue of sort of understanding this movie. It's great. And then you got Nope. Just Nope. It's okay to not see every movie a great filmmaker has made. Even if you're a completist and that means so much to you, my question would be, why is completing a thing worth stabbing yourself in the eyes with New York, New York? Think about it. We're going to be like water here at VHS, and we're just going to take the tier list as has been given to us. So we're going to start here completely out of chronological order with The Aviator. It's a biopic, period piece, Howard Hughes. Guy goes crazy over about 3 hours of film time. And you know, this is one that is a little bloated, and when it came out, I think a lot of people immediately wrote it off as like a big, glamorous, overblown Hollywood period piece, and it is. But you know what else it is? It is an absolute must-see. Get up in the must-see. Why won't this thing do it? Haha, it did. Sometimes Scorsese does these kind of large-scale, classical-feeling movies, almost always period pieces, that are stately and very intentional in a way. I don't know how to say this exactly, but you know how in Goodfellas he gets on that steady cam and they just run through the club and they show you the whole world and you're just like, by the seat of your pants in that movie? These movies are the opposite of that. Everything is very put together. The score is very baroque and large. And somehow, he just nailed every piece of The Aviator. It's weird how good The Aviator is, but it really is a must-see. Okay, moving on to Cape Fear. Wow, this is a great second one to do because these are oddballs. Aviator and Cape Fear are both kind of oddballs. Cape Fear is one of those maybe it was just a weird time. Maybe this time in the 90s, filmmaking was weird, and acting was weird, and storytelling was kind of weird. And Robert De Niro really, really wanted to dive into all that weirdness, and he does with his performance. The only reason to watch Cape Fear is to really deal with what Robert De Niro thinks he's doing with this accent, and that's all of it. But this is basically a big we get it, because obviously it's a big De Niro performance. People talk about Cape Fear. It's a remake of a classic. We get it. Okay. I like the way this is going. Casino. Controversial pick right up top. Casino is an easy must-see. I don't want to fight about nothing. Except I do want to fight about this. Come see me in the comments about this one. I know it's long. There's a lot of stuff in the Sharon Stone chunk that you just feel like we're just kind of spiraling and the movie forgot to keep going. But damn it, Casino is so well made. Watch it again. It's a 3-hour plus movie that actually flies by if you give yourself over to it and just love everything about what De Niro and Pesci are doing with these characters in this setting. And it's hilarious. It's hilarious. It's funnier than Goodfellas. And at times darker than Goodfellas too. So it's a choice, pretty choice. Paul Newman, Tom Cruise, The Color of Money. Easy, we get it. Easy, we get it. You don't have to watch this movie. I'll tell you what you need to know to talk about this movie. It's a sequel to The Hustler, right? Paul Newman in the 60s in this awesome black and white pool shooter movie called The Hustler. And it's all about just him hustling pool, and it's awesome. So we get in the 80s, and for some reason, Martin Scorsese thinks, you know what I want to do? I want to make a sequel to a movie that I didn't make the original for, because I guess I want to find a way to work with Tom Cruise. That's probably what this is about, right? Teaming up with Tom Cruise at the time and Newman. Two generations. It was like, how can we pass this up? And the studio just threw money at him. It was like, it's everything. It's IP we know. It's the hottest young star, the hottest old star, and we'll take Scorsese. He doesn't have to do gangsters this time, I guess. Now we reach pretty close to the top of the mountain, right? So we're just going to put this up here, but this is where we need to start talking, okay? We're going to get these in the right order. This isn't just about just put it in must see. I need to get a little granular with this, okay? Goodfellas is going to be hard to beat. I don't know that it won't be beaten. It can be beat. It ain't going to be beat by The Aviator. And The Aviator ain't going to beat Casino. And if we come down to We Get It, I think we're okay right here for now. But just because De Niro is so ridiculous, we're going to do a little swap-a-roo like that ski. Okay, that looks better to me. Hugo. Oh, good. We got our first Nope. Check this out. Big Nope. Remember how I was talking about those classical movies that don't really feel like Scorsese movies? This is one of those, but it's a classic, kid, emotional, Christmassy kind of movie. And I can't think of a worst genre for Martin Scorsese to attempt. And I frankly, I think he blows it. It's so much about his love of movies. It's his sort of cinema paradiso. But it really is actually a Spielberg movie, and it would have been too schmaltzy and bad if Spielberg had done it. And it's bad in other ways because Scorsese does it. So that's an easy nope. It's a kid movie. No one wants to talk about it. No one at your fancy parties wants to talk about the kid movie. So you're all right. The Irishman, huh? We get it. We get it pretty hard. This one may end up being remembered more for the effects on the de-aging. And that's a bummer. It's very long. It's not bad. It's got some great scenes, but it's a lot of them kind of circling the drain. And ultimately, if you ask me, the only reason The Irishman was made is because Scorsese hadn't really made his gangster death movie. And this is the gangster death movie. You get to the end and you realize this has actually all been leading to the movie that's about the death of these gangsters. The end of it. So that's fine, but you know, we get it. Still, yeah. All right. Calm down. Ooh, King of Comedy. Have you not seen King of Comedy? Is it one of those like mid-career movies that you're like, I don't know, it's like a comedy? It's like Taxi Driver is a comedy? Dude, it's Taxi Driver as a comedy. That's awesome. We gotta talk. We're up here. We're looking good. We're feeling good. We gotta talk. Easy. Okay. Walking away. We're gonna speed this up a little bit because Kundun is a big time we get it. This is one of those classic ones. It's not that it's a bad movie. It's just a very slow, boring movie. This is like what 80s movies were like. Gandhi, Amadeus. Some of them are fantastic, but they're slow grinders, especially by modern standards. And Kundun's gonna be one of those big old time. Here's another one, Last Temptation of Christ. This is a we get it, but it's a we get it up here. You don't really need to see Last Temptation to talk about Scorsese movies. But if you want to talk about biblical epics, well, you have to. Okay, so if that's a different tier list. Calm down. I'm saying that a lot. I need y'all to just relax. So we're gonna put it at the top of we get it. Mean Streets. Okay, now I know. Look! Don't tease me, Jesse. I know you think I have to see Mean Streets. I know you do. I don't, because you know what? We get it. De Niro's great in that. If you just want to go see a really cool young De Niro performance, it's right there. It's fine. But we get it. All right. This next movie is why there's a Nope category. There's going to be a Nope category on every filmmaker's tier list because every filmmaker is even my very, very favorites, of which Martin Scorsese is right there. It's right there. They all got crappy movies. They all got bad movies, man, because either they got controlled by the studio at the wrong time, They got actors they couldn't deal with at the wrong time. They got budgets that went haywire and crazy that didn't work out. Or the more popular option seemed like a good idea at the time. That happens a lot. It happened with New York, New York. This is a huge noper. And I don't know that anything's going to out-nope this. I've only seen parts of it. I could not make myself finish. I do not recommend. Skip it. That's an easy nope. As opposed to Raging Bull. The Bull's up here. It's a must-see. It's an easy must-see. But let's talk about it. Of course, it's better than The Aviator. And I'm going to keep Aviator up here in the must-see. But you see how the Scorsese movies are the ones leading the pack on the must-see. These are the ones you really got to be able to talk about, feel in your bones, and understand if you're going to have any kind of claim to be able to talk about Scorsese, right? Raging Bull, I'm leaving behind Casino. And this is a personal choice. And I honestly hope this starts some controversy because I am trying to drum up comments. But it's a singular story. It's a character study. And I don't know when the last time is you watched Raging Bull, but what it mostly is a series of arguments. It's De Niro becoming unreasonably enraged or suspicious or paranoid, you know what I mean? And getting into it with people and people trying to argue with him to tell him that that's not what's happening. It's boxing and arguments. So, it's incredible in what it does. The photography's unreal. Best black and white photography maybe of his whole career. I'm trying to think of what other ones he did, other than the early days, but gorgeous. So fine. You gotta see it. It's one of those that I think is holding up a little less and less the farther we get away from it. We'll see. We'll see what you think. Next up, Shutter Island. We get it, dog. We get it. That is a generic Hollywood thriller. It's like a mystery with an obvious hook. So obvious. I want to ruin it so bad right now. If you haven't seen it, I just want to ruin it so bad so you just don't bother. The Silence. Yeah, I didn't see The Silence. Age of Innocence. Age of Innocence is a hardcore we get it. Way better than Shutter Island. You're going to go better than Kundun too. But here's the thing. Bloated. Slow. Not bad. But not Scorsese good. Taxi Driver. This is going ahead of Raging Bull. This is harder to watch than Raging Bull. This character's rough. He's not sympathetic, but it is so raw. So raw. You haven't seen it. If you haven't seen this, you probably haven't seen a movie like this. And there are times you're going to be watching I don't know, Jesse, this kind of plotting. There's a lot of saxophone and driving through smoke. Everyone in it is awesome. I cannot recommend highly enough. But it doesn't crack my top 3. I don't want to go back to it like I go back to these top 3. So there's that. Wolf of Wall Street. Whew. This is the bottom of the must-sees. Get over here. I didn't want to like it. This is one of the ones that it started and I was like, these are some people that I'm going to watch the thing and do the thing and go through the thing. And ultimately it won't be that fulfilling. And it wasn't even super fulfilling as much as it was just so perfectly executed. Leonardo DiCaprio is great. Jonah Hill is great. Margot Robbie's great. It's all great. Speaking of not must-see, Gangs of New York. This is the top of the We Get It pile, guys. This is the pinnacle of We Get It. It was a big, bloated, there's that word again, a big, bloated masterpiece, right? This is his opus. If you remember when this was coming out, Scorsese had been trying to make this for something like 30 years. There's a book, almost got made a bunch of times, which goes to show you that even someone like Martin Scorsese has a hard time getting money to make his movies. Keep that in mind as we talk about movies as we go through this channel. Just because you're Martin Scorsese doesn't mean you get to make what you want to make. It's that hard. Gangs of New York. It's a bit of a Hollywood whiff, an incredible performance by one actor named Daniel Day-Lewis in that movie. Everybody else is just fine. And we get it. The Departed. Whew. Oh, this is hard. Okay, The Departed's up there. It's a must-see. It's a must-see. It's the one that they finally bothered giving him an Oscar for. That's the one he won. That was his Best Picture winner. The only one. Is that true? Or the only Best Director? I'm going to check that and come back later. No, I'm not. early one, Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore. This is a big we get it, but you know what? It's a really, really good movie. This is a really good drama. I don't know that it'll feel like a Martin Scorsese movie to you at all. It's a great little movie. That's it. Bringing Out the Dead is a we get it, but here's the thing. I get it that some people love this movie. It's the only Nicolas Cage Scorsese one, and it's dark, it's funny, it's gross, it's hard to watch at times, but I get it. Some people love it. The After Hours. Is this the only like really what you would call a true comedy? I think it might be, if you really think about it. And I'm putting it at the bottom of the must-see list. It's a minor Scorsese, I want to be clear about that. It is a minor work, but is a madcap New York City goofball adventure with Griffin Dunn running around the city, just having crazy adventures. It's almost like an Alice in Wonderland in the overnight world of New York City, and it's super hilarious and goofy. Watch After Hours. That's a great one. You can walk into a party and be like, yes, but did you see After Hours? It'll work. Boxcar Bertha. I don't know. That's an early one. Who cares? Who's that knocking at my door? We get it. This is the bottom of the we get it's. This is the 1967. This is the beginning. There's ones that people say like, oh, you saw Mean Streets, but have you gone back to see who... We get it. It's basically a student film. It's like out of film school student film. So great. And there you have it. The Martin Scorsese tier list. You must see Goodfellas, King of Comedy, Casino, Taxi Driver, Raging Bull. Listen to these. The Departed, Aviators, getting a little squidgy, but I'm still standing behind it. Wolf of Wall Street, and After Hours. Come back and tell me after you've seen After Hours. You're going to like After Hours. Then, we get it. He made these other movies. It's okay if you love them, but we don't have to. And we thank you for that. I'd love for you to meet me down in the comments. Tell me what I got wrong, but tell me what I got right. I need that a little bit, guys. And give me your other ideas. Give me a link to your own tier list. I'll check it out. Come on, I got nothing else to do. All I do is sit here and talk movies. Craig won't let me do anything else. So I'll leave you to get caught up on some of these must-sees. I'll leave you to come argue with me about some of the we get it's. And we can all commiserate on the nopes. I would love to have someone defend some nopes. Come in the comments, defend those nopes. I'll be there, buddy. And come back next time for another tier list where we simplify someone's decades-long career into 3 simple categories. Only on VHS. Take them home, Craig.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Oh, and please like and subscribe. Check out more of our videos. Leave a comment. Or don't. You do you.